but your
1989 actually.
1989 was your first store, right?
Yeah, that was
your
my first store, and
Okay.
it took me like 3 years to just build it. I
it.
remember I would wait for my dad to travel and
Yeah.
get me something, even jeans or shirts
Yes.
or t-shirts.
Yes.
I mean, there was actually
A shortage of
shortage of
sorts.
fashionable
Right.
things. I think there was only Ritu Kumar at that point who was doing a label which was cool, which
Right.
even I wore as a kid. I think that is India's biggest strength.
Right.
Are craftspeople.
Kavita, but I am actually like I've heard from a couple of sources, but I feel that the artisans are doing really well, but their next gen is a bit confused in terms of they have the TikToks and the Facebooks and the Instagram. You've naturally gone into my next question, which was about people who are now constantly aping, copying. At Ogan, we don't really see any two brands looking alike. Mrs. Bhartiya, thank you so much for taking our time for the Style Circle. This is a new baby for us, but we are hoping that, with our interactions and such interviews, we can take it to new heights. But for you to take out time for us, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
Priyanka, I'm so happy to be doing this with you. I feel very comfortable. I'm not, this is not my what I love doing, but I want to put my best foot forward and
Thank you.
and get into the space.
Thank you so much. I feel like we've been waiting for you for a really long time to step out, and now let's to get you talking and hear all the stories that you have to offer us. I already know that Ogan was something that was born in around 82, but
1989 actually.
1989 was your first store, right?
Yeah, that was
your
my first store, and it took me like 3 years to just build it. I remember my friend Mohit Gujral recommended Revti Kamath.
Okay.
And I really she was absolutely amazing to work with.
Okay.
And once you trust someone, then you give them the free will to do something. Once I'd given her my brief, she really made the spaces for the different designers, because as you know, Ogan is
a
a
multi-designer.
multi-designer store. And so that worked out very well. I remember that we had Rohit Khosla,
Yes.
kind of did a show for me.
In your store?
Yeah, just outside my store.
Oh, how
and
lovely.
It was amazing.
This was Horsecast, right?
This was Horsecast
your
Village,
first
yeah.
store.
Yes.
Wow. So a fashion show in Horsecast Village would have been quite a stunner.
It was a stunner. I mean, everybody came, and it was we had Tarun Tahliani's collection,
Wow.
Shahab Durazi, my collection, Madhu Jain's.
Of course.
So many other people, Divika Bhojwani.
Oh, wow.
And Rohit Bal.
So all of these were your contemporaries? They were your friends? They were known to you? Or did you search them out?
Actually, I searched them out, and Rohit Khosla really helped me at that time.
Okay.
Because he was well versed in the industry, and he knew, because it was, the whole thing was just starting at that point.
Right.
I mean, Ogan, Horsecast Village was the first store in Delhi,
Yes.
and the second store in the whole of India. So that many years back.
So it was literally Ogan and Ensemble. We're talking about
Ensemble opened in Mumbai, and Ogan opened, I think, a few years later in Delhi.
In Delhi.
But first of its kind.
It really was. It really was. And it was very interesting to see. And while I was reading about it, but what I want to really know is just go a little bit in the backstory of it. Early childhood inspirations or things that you felt that really got together and motivated you to open Ogan. Of course, we know what Ogan is today, but for all those who are watching, sitting, thinking maybe they can do something similar, were there any sort of inspirations very early on, a little bit in your childhood or even your education, that kind of catapulted this?
Yeah, I was always very interested in fashion. So I would sit, at that time there was not much available. There was, I would wait for my dad to travel and get me something, even jeans or shirts or t-shirts.
Yes.
I mean, there was actually
a shortage of
fashionable things. I think there was only Ritu Kumar at that point who was doing a label which was cool, which
Right.
even I wore as a kid. She
Right.
did these very nice shirts with skirts and things.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that was available, and I remember cutting up my mom's saris
Really?
to make my clothes,
Oh,
especially the little
wow.
formal wear.
Oh,
And growing up, I would go to the local darzi
Hmm.
and, you know, tell him
Kind
what to
of
do
direct him
and
to make your
direct him to
clothes.
make my clothes.
Oh,
I
wow.
enjoyed
Okay.
that.
Okay.
It was that moment in time, but I'm so happy that today that I don't have to do that because it
Yes.
was an ordeal.
Yes. That was definitely
Yeah,
a.
today we have so much available.
Yes, today we are dealing with a whole different kind of skill set for
Yeah.
sure. I just feel that so that kind of that those experiences made you feel that, designing is your calling, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, and I loved what Tarun Thalyani had done with Ensemble. I think that was a big inspiration.
Yes.
And also there was nothing available, so everyone would keep waiting to go to Mumbai, and everybody would like,
Right.
where should we? Everyone would travel abroad and pick up their things. There
Yeah.
was really nothing
Yeah.
at
I
that
think
time.
you really did name your brand really well. I mean, the store, Ogan, which means a wave.
A
Is that
wave in
correct?
Sanskrit, yes. I was
Yes.
desperately like, I have to give it a name.
Yeah,
So,
but what a different name and so apt, right? Because it was
yeah,
really a wave at that time,
yes.
and it's continuing to only grow, which is so great. So I think like I feel I'm not alone when I say this, but you are considered like a true visionary in this because I mean honestly at that point when there's nothing and you bring so much to the table is quite a jump, right? So when you got your first handful of designers who you got help seeking them out and all of that, did you feel the movement starting then, or did it take some time before you felt like, okay, no, I think we have a longer way to go?
I think there was a small group, but it's only grown in the years.
Yes.
And I think it's wonderful to have so much positive energy under one roof,
Right.
which is why I think multi-brand designer stores are doing so well.
Yes, true. But also, like so many different kinds of talents under
Yeah,
one roof
absolutely.
also has like, certain challenges that come with it, right? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, I'm talking about like people
absolutely.
giving from really good advice to unsolicited advice sometimes, and also like, so many creative minds thinking together. Has it ever sort of been problematic or tough to maneuver around those?
I think it all went well. Uh, especially when you're the master of ceremonies, you
Yes.
decide who you want to work with and you invite them and you give them a brief as to what exactly, what is the theme.
Right.
And then they do their best. And, they're very talented
Of
group of
course.
people.
Absolutely.
And I was really like doing my own line, but not focusing on it. I preferred, because Ogan is a multi-designer store, so I preferred to focus on, them.
Them,
But
giving them the
I
space.
had always this, dream of doing my own line. So I
Right.
continue to do that, but I always focused on,
Other talents, like with other people.
absolutely, because
Which is, I think,
yeah.
which is a really nice way to do it also because I have never actually seen your label overshadow the store ever. It's always been like your label's there, but it's not like, the other
Yeah.
labels can't be seen or the other. So I see that in your, I guess, in the visual language of the store. But what I want to also know is that when you did get these group of talented designers together and then, it's time to grow, how do you take that step forward? Do you just simply look out for more people and keep adding, or do you have to let some go, or how does that work?
It works quite organically,
Okay.
Priyanka. Because the old people, I mean, the people who are really talented stay,
Right.
and they grow, whether it's in the store or out of the stores.
Right.
But you keep adding new names. Like, I mean, look at there's so many new names that have
Yes.
come up who do amazing
Do
work.
really well. Right.
I mean, look at Pero, look at
Yes.
I mean, Sabyasachi, who started with us, but he's gone to another level.
Wow. Okay.
He's taken on the world now.
Yeah, yes.
And,
But when you look back at Ogan, like at those starting years, right, in '89 when it was still all starting, did you did you feel like you've taken a risk that sort of really paid off in that respect? Were you taking a risk with them, or was it like a sure shot? You knew it in your mind.
I did my best.
Yes.
But I think God was with me.
Yeah.
So
My next question was going to be who helped. So I think I got my
and God was
answer.
with me, and God was definitely with me on
Yes.
this one. And but my husband, I got a lot of support from my husband.
Okay.
I think that it's very important for
Mm-hmm.
any woman to have one person who supports them in the family.
Yeah.
I think that is key because I was very young at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and also had two kids and
Right.
running my home.
Yes.
And if I didn't have his support, I
would
wouldn't have
be-
I wouldn't have done it.
You wouldn't have
So
done it.
that really went a long way to help me.
Yes.
And it was not monetary help, but just that
Like just the moral
there's
support
someone
also.
like how people monet give their boys
Right. Yeah.
how to move forward. I
Yes.
think one person in the family has to do that for the girls
Yes.
or for the women of the family.
Yes. And I think that always
Women unless the women join the workforce, a country doesn't evolve.
no,
right?
absolutely. I was going
Yeah.
to say that I think that they do need that support, but they
Yeah.
don't need the support for the performance. They need the support so that they are able to move
Yeah,
on from that
exactly,
emotional
exactly.
baggage and be like,
Yeah,
okay, I know
yeah.
that my home supports this, so I can move
Yeah,
forward. I think that's
yeah.
the more the support instead of the performance support, like you
Yeah, and
said.
also just to say, okay, how did your day go?
Right.
And just help you start.
Help you
Because once
start.
you start, then there is no looking back.
Is he still helping you today?
Not. He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to, of
He's-
course.
He's very busy with his own work.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, Ashti always helps me. Ashti is my daughter.
Ashti's your- of
who's
course.
taken.
She's taken
my
over
brand
the reins,
forward.
yes.
She's taken over the retail part of my business,
Okay.
and I really it happened at the right moment, and it was my dream. Dream that Ashti takes over.
Yeah.
And lucky for me
That's
that she
lovely.
did.
That's lovely because it's definitely a legacy to take forward. I mean, Ogan today is one of those, reputed stores where it's not going anywhere, and I think everybody looks up to what's Ogan doing, what's Ogan got, and then follow the trail if at all. But I do want to know before we move on from your journey towards Ogan, I do want to know maybe a mistake that was made, or maybe a mistake that people could make, you almost made, or one of those that you really learned from and that people can take away when they listen to you now.
I think it's very important to put your back ends in place,
Okay.
to have a support system.
Right.
I think I didn't focus on that. I just, there were no books that I read, and then,
Okay.
I just felt that I had to do everything myself.
Okay.
And so I remember opening stores in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, while I was at it, it went very well.
Yeah.
And, but then, you have to put, the first thing I think Ashti did was she put the back end operations in place.
In place. Okay.
Lots of merchandisers, lots of support.
So I think that is
Team
what you're
building.
So
I
that is the
think-
first initial
yeah,
feel
yeah,
you felt that
yeah.
you weren't able to do that properly.
Yeah, I
But-
didn't. Yeah, I just thought I could do everything myself.
Everything yourself.
I think that is a big mistake because you have to have.
You have
I
to
mean,
delegate.
I did have a support system in in helping me with the bookkeeping
Yes.
and accounts and everything. But you need much more support if you are growing.
Right. Okay. So I think that's a really good learning because I feel that maybe myself included, but a lot of people I know who do this is that they hold on to it too much, and like they hold on to too many things together, and then everything kind of can fall apart if it's not taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. Any values and principles in terms of business, in terms of the business of Ogan, that are a non-negotiable for you? Like these are some business practices that you follow to the T and you will not deviate from them.
Making your payments on time.
Okay,
So
lovely.
my
A lot of people are very
accounts,
happy to hear that.
yeah, no, the account department is very strong, and in
Okay.
fact, I don't think we've ever mis- made a mistake on that one. You know,
Okay.
that is, I think, very, very important.
I think that's a
I mean,
lovely one.
sometimes we pay before time, but
Yes.
I think I've never heard anyone complaining.
Well, that's a really positive,
Yeah, it's, I think, a very
yeah,
important.
very important. I
Yeah,
agree.
and we haven't taken any loans from the bank, which is again something that I'm really proud
That's
of.
actually, yeah, that's
Yeah,
very commendable,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's usually for a lot of people, the top and one of the top 5 steps is to take out a loan and then go for
yeah.
that. But if you haven't done that, that's really commendable. I think that's, and then to be able to support the business and the
Yeah,
growth with it
yeah.
also, that's great.
I think also I started very small, in a very small way, because the situation demanded that at that time,
Right.
and slowly grew organically.
That
So
also helped. It sort
from
of
the
showed
money
you the
that
way.
we made, I put that back in my
Right.
business, and I think that is
That's
rather
an
than starting in a big way and then falling on your
Yeah, I feel like that
face.
becomes a crash and burn
Yeah,
situation because then you're too high, you've
yeah.
taken too much. For moving on to like now what Ogan, it's grown. You have now from that one store in Hoskas, you have about 23 all across the country. I would like to know that any kind of, I want to say benchmarks, if not prerequisites, to be a participant in the Ogan family as a designer. So when you go out and actively look for brands, what are the maybe first 3 things that you check to say, okay, this is approved?
I think creativity, either you have
Okay.
it in you or you don't.
Okay.
And I think that is, and also then the back end operations, as in, you have to have the skills to
Produce.
produce, because once you're at Ogan, then and your collection is good, then you get pulled into the
A
20,
lot of people.
into the 11
Yes.
or 12 stores at least.
Right.
So you have to be able to
Have the back
manage
end.
that.
So you have
Yes.
creativity and back end, the third one. Any third pointers that they must have that you look at?
I think it's basically creativity
It's
and
basically
finishing. Yeah.
finishing. Okay. And so, but then what about the young ones? Like, the young blood that maybe doesn't have a very strong back end because they're starting out, right? Like we discussed earlier, we start small and then we grow. But then if you are small and you don't have a very good back end operation, but you have very high level of creativity, would you still support that?
We absolutely
Okay.
do. I know that we put one of our merchandisers to support them, maybe produce for them.
Oh, really?
When we see
Okay.
the potential.
Do you have any stories, like any success stories of brands that may have, started out really small and struggling, but are now today
Yeah,
super
but that is
established?
what Ashti, my daughter, did. So I'm
Okay.
not going to go into her domain.
Okay, okay, okay.
Because I didn't do that
You didn't
really.
do the
But
that
today,
program
that is
wasn't
what is
under you.
happening. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
any other success stories of people or brands who have come under the wing of Ogan and then taken off?
Like Sabyasachi, for instance, I
Okay.
remember
So he started with his journey started with
yeah,
Ogan.
he started with Ogan,
Lovely.
and you know, I remember, just my merchandisers, in fact, dealt with him and,
Yes.
told him the way forward, and he's amazing.
He's
He's
really good at what he
super
does.
talented.
Yes.
And look at what he's been able to
Achieved.
achieve.
Yes, absolutely.
He's really
He's a
remarkable.
global
Yeah.
icon now. Okay, so that's great. So Sabyasachi is one of the designers who started out at
Yeah,
Ogan and then now is one of your
Yeah.
success stories.
Yeah.
Great. What is one of the styling principles, whether at Ogan or even for your personal self, like a certain, like a style principle that you always follow?
I'm big on skirts.
Okay.
I just so I just I and there's anywhere I'm in the world, I will
Yeah.
like go for anything that catches my eye.
Yeah.
And just team it up with something simple.
So
You
your
know,
favorite go-to separates is skirts.
yeah,
love them.
my
Of
skirts
all
with
lengths.
like of all lengths,
Okay, lovely.
all types. And
Okay,
I
nice.
go through different phases.
Okay.
And I try to, I just team them up with shirts or t-shirts,
Yeah.
kind of like which give some shape to the body.
Okay, nice. How do you see the Indian craftsmanship today in terms of, like, when we talk about textiles or handlooms and fitting into the global narrative? So, like, I feel today, everywhere I go, I see some handloom, it makes me think of India, right? But I suddenly realize, oh, I may be at Crate and Barrel, or I could be at Saks Fifth Avenue. And then I suddenly realize that I see glimpses of it everywhere. So, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think India has reached, or Indian craftsmanship has reached different parts of the world, or are people just tokenizing it? Like, it's just for token?
All the international big brands are sourcing from India. They're working with people to do the embroideries. I think, the moment any label, whether it's, especially in the international world,
Yes.
they look at handwork,
Right.
as it has a lot of value.
Yeah.
So I think that is India's biggest strength,
Right.
are craftspeople. And whether it is the wovens from Banaras or from any part of India, or it's the handwork.
Yeah.
I mean, I see all the people in my workshop working, they work from morning till night.
Right.
So they don't get tired.
Yeah.
They don't need music and they don't need, it's just, they just patiently
doing their work.
working, whether it's the embroideries, mainly the embroideries. I think it's very fascinating.
So, what are your thoughts? Like, recently, I don't know if you're, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, but it's the Dior jacket that was fully done, in Indian embroidery. I believe it was Mukesh, so something like that. And it's selling at like a insanely high price. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it's 1.2 or 1.8 CR. But it is at the core of it something that maybe we've all worn some or the other version of, right? So, what do you feel about that? Like with brands that are the bigger brands westernizing the Indian handicraft and selling it as if it is almost like it's their creation. What do you feel? Do you feel something about that?
I feel proud that the international world is recognizing what Indian people can do.
But they're
the
not really giving
crafts of
any
India.
credit.
It isn't, but the
But you know.
world knows
Okay.
that it comes from India.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that you feel like that's enough. You feel like that's okay.
That's good. And
Yeah.
I think it just gives all the different arts and crafts, when you see a brocade fabric,
Yes.
that, it has an Indian
Stamp to it.
stamp
Yes.
on it. Yeah.
I got it. But I felt like, for example, there was a huge argument about the, Prada using the Kolhapuris and then not even sort of giving that kind of credit. I think that, in my personal opinion, I feel that not only should they cite their inspirations, but also use it in a way that gives the Indians, or at least the community where it comes from, its sense of pride. Because right now, I don't think we are lacking pride.
No.
We're not even lacking the concern. I think what we're lacking is just the appreciation that the Indian craft deserves and is getting it in every shape or form except face to face owning the fact that you are using a very old skill set and bringing it to, because I think I share your sentiment. I'm equally proud, but I just feel that there is a miss in the expression of it. I don't know if you feel the same way about the Kolhapuris and the Lucknowi jacket, but
I was just so happy to see the Kolhapuris being used by Prada
Right.
for their ramp show.
yes.
I think it was like made me so proud.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think once they start working with the craftspeople,
Which they have, yes.
which they've started working. So I think eventually, there are umpteen pictures
Right.
of them going to Kolhapur, working
Right.
with the craftspeople. So ultimately, I think the world knows that it comes from, at least we know.
Right,
So we
we
are
know.
very proud.
Yes,
And
rightly so.
eventually, I'm sure that
It'll
it'll go
even out.
down.
It'll balance out.
Yeah, they
Okay.
will give it acknowledgement because they have, and we all know where the inspiration has come from.
Yes, that's true. I
And
mean,
they
of
will
course.
probably take it to another level,
Yes.
which I want to see. Will
Yeah.
probably make it more comfortable. I love the look of the Kolhapuri chappal,
Right.
but I don't wear it because I can't run around in it. I mean, I feel
It's
it could be more
yes.
comfortable. So I think maybe
Maybe Prada will do that for us.
Yeah.
But no, that's a very positive way to look at it, because I feel that eventually, like you said, everyone knows where it comes from. Everyone's just like sort of trying to ask for more appreciation or more credit. But I think it's more for the artisans who make it and then, don't get the credit. That's been the fashion battle I have seen for years. Honestly, whether it's, a high-end designer or somebody who's just starting out, the karigars and the artisans are always sort of, and I don't even know if they're asking for it. So you are much closer to the, grassroots level in that respect. Do you think they're even asking for it, or they're just doing their job, they just want to live their life?
They are doing their job, but I think it is time for us to bring them forward.
Right. Yes.
Whether it's your design team, whether it is the karigars, because without them,
Yes.
they're just so smart.
Yeah.
They're brilliant.
They're skilled.
They're
Absolutely.
completely skilled.
Right.
And, thanks to where the fashion industry is at in India, I think more and more people are getting trained to do, whether it's handwork, whether it's hand block printing, so
I'm really happy to hear that, Kavita. But I am actually, like, I've heard from a couple of sources where I feel that the artisans are doing really well, but their next gen is a bit confused in terms of, they have the TikToks and the Facebooks and the Instagram and basically social media and all kinds of things that come with it, right? Which I feel like maybe deviating them from carrying on the legacy of their forefathers or fathers who are working in tirelessly making all these creations. Do you feel that, or do you think it's just a small, like, because I know they all work in clusters, right? There's a cluster and they work in villages also, but I feel that their newer generation is also getting very like attracted to the Western life now, because now they have access to it, and they may not continue doing the work that their families have been doing for years. Do you see that also? Or?
I do. There was a moment in time, the sari almost was
Disappearing.
like disappearing, especially the wovens from
Yes.
Banaras. And,
Yes.
because I think the people just lost interest. They were taking a long time to make them and weren't being compensated
Enough.
enough.
Right.
And but now again, there's a revival of the sari,
There is.
and people are enjoying wearing it, and there are shifts. So
Yes.
I'm happy that shift has happened,
So am I. Yes.
and there are lots of designers who are making Western clothes. Like I remember, I know Suket Dheer, for instance.
Yes.
He works with brocades, but
Yes.
he
So Kate is, of course, he's taking it to a very different level.
Yeah.
Like he's
He's
taken the
doing Western
original
clothes,
to,
yeah.
like, adding so many more elements,
Yeah.
which are, of course, very, very delightful. But yeah, you're right. Like, I think now
Payal
designers are.
Khanwala is also
Yes.
doing a very amazing job.
She
with
single-handedly brought
Yeah.
that Kim Carp back to life
she
almost.
Has. She's done it in a very nice,
Yes.
nice way, which is
Wearable.
very wearable,
Yes.
pleasing. I wear a lot of her clothes. She's,
Yes. Very comfortable and very approachable. It's
Yeah.
I think maybe at some point there was an issue with the Indian silhouettes in general being too elaborate for people to be able to translate it into daily life. But I think, like you rightly said, Payal Khandwala, Suket Dheer, and a lot more, of course, they've translated it for us. So today, if I wear a brocade jacket, I'm just as happy as somebody else would have been wearing a brocade suit or a brocade sari. But now the jacket is more accessible. It's more
like
wearable.
Urvashi Kaur, I think, is also doing these.
She works with a lot of handloom
brocade
fabrics.
jackets
Yes.
and doing it in a very interesting way.
She's doing a really, really great job. Many of our viewers, are aspiring stylists. So, do you have any kind of advice or even a take on the upcoming stylists that are now emerging, would you like to tell them a little bit about that profession in terms of how they should look at it from your point of view?
Styling.
Yes, for
Okay.
stylists.
I think again, I have to say that, you have to feel for it. And if you're, like, I think you have to just also give yourself time, work with perhaps with the right people.
So you
And,
feel like they should work with someone first,
yeah, perhaps. And,
right?
or if they have to apprentice with under someone, so that they, basically it's all about creativity,
Right.
to be, to do whatever you're good at.
Do
And
you have any stylists that you look up to? Any stylists whose work you follow or have liked before
uh,
or
s-
now?
well, I follow a lot of designers,
Okay.
and Indian designers and international designers, but stylists, it's I still have to get into it.
Okay.
I'm really not, I'm not so much into Instagram, and
Yes.
I haven't really worked with too many stylists. So
Is there a stylist who works with Ogan that you know of, that someone you like whose work, because of course styling is not just limited to personal styling. I'm talking about even maybe the way somebody styled your store, curated your store, somebody who may have styled shoots for Ogan that you like their work.
uh, s- uh, I, it's we just do things ourselves. I do most of the things myself. I like to I'm good at displays. So I've always been doing that. Now we are working with some younger, newer people.
Okay.
But the styling, again, it's under Ashti, and she's set up a, a
A separate
place
department for the.
which, we have a separate team which does the styling.
Okay.
And because we also have the Elle magazine, and
Right.
we have,
It falls under that
yeah,
purview almost. Okay.
falls under that, and we have a lot of online presence.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
we'll just hash that out, because I think
Yeah.
this was more of a
Yeah.
question like what do you feel about stylists as a profession? Like what do you think they add
Yeah,
value? So
I mean, they definitely add value for
yes,
sure. I
yes,
mean,
of
they're
course.
doing a great job, and I
Yeah.
think, I'm looking for someone to wear my clothes, and at stylists basically. But I don't have too much experience in
So we're
that.
gonna have to put you in
Yeah,
touch with some
yeah.
stylists.
Please do, please. That
No,
would be very
there's a
welcome.
very
Yeah.
very very nice niche group of people even in Delhi who you can find who are like doing some great work. So we can
Okay, please.
definitely
That would
help
be a
you with
great
that.
help.
So I want to know from you, because you're definitely one of the OGs, right? And we do consider you as one of the OGs. So I want to know how you feel that fashion can help, uh, not only just in consumption, but the storytelling of it all, right? Like, I think that because I truly feel fashion is also a form of art, and I'm sure you agree. So, how do you think that fashion can truly be more of a storytelling medium rather than just consumption?
Yeah, I think it's very important for a collection to have a storyline. So whether it's, colors, whether it's whether it's the inspiration, where it comes from.
Yeah,
And I think also, for especially when you present your collections on the ramp, or whether you present them in the stores, I think they have to be streamlined. They have to be, whether it's through colors, whether it's
right.
through content, whether it's through embroidery. Are you trying to, is your look Western, or is it Indian, or is it taken from, what is your design language?
What is it?
I think you have to stick to that. Like Nidhi Tholia, for instance,
Right.
she does modern clothes in a way. I would say that they're modern,
Yes.
but using traditional work from Jaipur.
Gotapatti
She
and
does the
the right,
Gotapatti and the Indian work, and she works with the best craftspeople.
right,
So I think you have to define and she's been doing that over the years. I think that
right.
is one thing that we, as designers, we and something that we really appreciate at Ogan as well, because
Okay.
if you stick to your storyline,
Yeah.
I think you also are able to make a name for yourself
Right.
for that particular
Right.
thing instead of going all over the place.
Got it. So like when you
Yeah.
become a champion of a certain craft in
Yeah.
terms of your
Yeah.
brand,
You
like Payal
stick with it.
Khinwala would
Yeah.
do a Kim Kav and
Exactly.
Nidhi Tholia
Yeah.
would do
Yeah.
Gota
I think
Patri.
that is very important, not to jump too
Not
much.
to jump too much.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a really good
Yeah.
point. I was trying to get that
Yeah.
point from you
Yeah.
where I feel like, people who are aspiring should know that when you jump too much, you're not able to tell your real story and people are not going to follow you as much then.
Priyanka, you made a very, very important point. It takes a long time to
Yes.
get to that, because
Right.
people get inspired by whether it's
Different
Anamika
things.
Khanna or whether it's someone else, anyone who's successful.
Right.
And then you lose your own identity because you start aping them.
Aping them,
I think that is
right.
the biggest mistake.
I like that you've naturally gone into my next question, which was about people who are now constantly aping, copying, getting inspired, all of that. I do see that at Ogan, we don't really see any two brands looking alike. Whereas some of the newer stores or even just smaller stores, they don't mind two artists or two fashion designers whose work is very, very similar to be in their stores. Now, can you just shed some light on that?
Yeah, so we at Ogan are very conscious of not accepting people who are copying other
Right.
people, or who have I mean, Asim Kapoor, for instance, is doing his own thing.
Right.
He's completely redefined
Yes. Indian bohemian.
Indian,
Yes.
yeah, Indian bohemian look with
Right.
Western silhouettes and or very Indian. So he
Yes.
may have been inspired by somebody, but he's formed his own design language.
Right.
I think that is very important. If you blatantly copy,
Have you had someone? Is there a incident or a
yeah,
story
lots
where
of lots of stories, lots of. I don't want to name people, but
Okay.
yeah. So we make a conscious decision to
not let them in about that?
not let them in to the store,
Okay.
because
And
we don't want copycats.
so we
because
don't want to
then-
name
yeah.
the copycats, but do we want
Yeah.
to at least get an idea of maybe the top 3 or top 4 brands that are getting copied today,
It's like
according to you?
Anamika Khanna,
Of course.
for sure,
Of course.
and yeah, even Pero, Anit Arora. She's. I think a lot of people are being inspired by her
Yes.
success story,
Yes.
and trying to do things like the way she does it in
Yes.
their own way.
Yes.
But still, it's where the inspiration
where
has
the
come from, and
inspiration-
it doesn't work.
It's too close,
Yeah.
actually. Not
Yeah.
even, you can't call it inspiration because it's too close. Like,
Yeah.
a Pero has so many like devils in the details. It's
Yeah,
hard to miss,
exactly.
right? When
Yeah.
everywhere you look, every part of the garment, there's something that will show up that you'll be like, oh my God. And I know that it's all hand done. So
It's all hand done. Yes.
So, I mean, of course, that kind
she's
of
a big success story.
yeah, so that obviously we can't, nobody can really emulate it till to that point, because then the price points also reflect what they're bringing to the
exactly,
table and what Pero
exactly.
has, right?
Yeah.
But to my point, like, what happens when somebody is like, let's say, for the lack of better example at the moment, let's say someone who is trying to be like Pero, isn't really Pero, but also has their own brand language. Do they have a way in to Ogan? They're not similar, as in like they're not really copying Pero to the T, but they're getting inspired, like happier colors, anti-fit silhouettes, stuff like that. Do you think you would still who is the one person who decides that nope and yes? Who is that person?
Yeah, so we have merchandisers now, and Ashti, all of us are very aware of this.
Yes.
And so unless the design language is very different and is really being able to stand on its own, we don't encourage,
it.
Collections that are similar to any other designer, especially Pero, who's made such a good name for herself. She's
Yes.
selling very, very well through all our stores
Yes.
and in the world. So why would you want to, have like
Someone else
cheaper-
who's
yeah,
right at a different kind of price point. So you would stay away from it.
We stay away from it. Yeah.
Okay. And so you said, of course, Anamika Khanna and Pero. Any other brand that's sort of blatantly getting that attention by getting copied or trying to get into your stores?
You know, a lot of the really well-known designers, like, but I think essentially, and I see a lot of copies of Anamika and Pero. I don't think, yeah, I haven't seen two. I mean, it's impossible to copy Tarun Tahliani.
It is
He's
impossible
focused
to copy
on,
him, yes.
yeah, he's focused
Yeah.
on his wedding clothes. I think everybody's kind of like defined their own design language.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you ever step out and look for new talent in exhibitions? There's so
Yeah, I
many.
do.
You do.
I do. I love to go for exhibitions
Yeah.
to see what's going on, to keep my ears close to the ground.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's very important to see what is happening. And
Have you
sometimes
found somebody really? Have you found brands that you've actually approached and said, "I want you to come in and show
yeah, so
yourself"?
I take their cards and I give it to my merchandisers for them to really go deeply into
Okay.
their backgrounds
and-
to see
right.
see whether they'll be able to cope with the demand that Ogan has. So I
You do
don't
you take those trips.
I do that. I do that. I love to do that. Sometimes take the designers with me.
Yeah.
But you know, we have to look at a lot of elements. You know, the copying elements. I mean, the
Yes.
finishing.
Those are your
quality.
points. Right.
You know, you can spot out talent.
Have you, what is the most recent exhibition that you went to that you thought you found some really good emerging?
I keep going to so many exhibitions all
Yeah,
the time. You know, there's
none
so
that-
many exhibitions.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a thing which is really becoming very big right now.
I thought there was it became really, really big, and I thought we saw a dip right around COVID because then no one could go anywhere. But now I think
Yeah.
it's re-emerging.
Yeah, it is.
It's taken them some time. But any shows that you like to frequent that you feel that have helped you find new talent?
I go randomly to like a few exhibitions that I come to hear of.
Okay.
And I must say that personally, when I buy things from there, which I do,
Yes.
I'm not so happy because you know you can't. You have to buy in a hurry. So that is why I feel that eventually, like for me, it's good to go to the stores.
I mean, the
and
shopping
try it
experience at an
on.
exhibition is obviously very, very rushed and very
Yeah.
almost. It's like a midway buying. You're
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah,
You're sure. I'll
yeah.
pick it up, and then you come home and you'll
It
get
hasn't
it.
worked for me, but you know, I love Dhruv Kapoor's shirts.
Yes.
And I've bought some from these exhibitions.
Yes.
And there's sometimes I miss them at Ogan.
Yeah.
You know, but somehow, you know, because I haven't tried them on, it hasn't. So I've really, at this point, I've stopped going for exhibitions.
Yeah.
Because even I just go to see what's going on.
You get to see what's going on.
But
You have your own little exhibition, which is the one that happens at the Oberoi.
Yes.
So it's like like your own little party, and all
Yes.
the Ogan loyalists are invited to that. And I
Yes,
think
it
you've
does
been doing it for
well.
years, right?
It's you know, whatever is successful, you carry on with. If something is not successful, you know, you let it go.
Yes.
And
It's almost like an annual Ogan party that
Yeah,
you throw
yeah,
for
yeah,
your
yeah.
loyalists,
Yes,
because you
yes.
get to see
Yeah.
the best of what's coming and
Yes.
right in time for the festive season.
Yes,
I think
the
that's
timing works.
timing works.
The location works,
Yes.
and the merchandise works.
The merchandise
I
obviously
mean, I find
works.
myself also shopping for, you know,
Yeah.
from their
collection, because
from
that's the
the collection.
best.
I get the best collection.
And then you get all of the Ogan sales associates who are, by the way, experts in their own right. I have to give the credit where it's due. Every time I go to Ogan, it doesn't matter if you have what they call a relationship manager these days. It doesn't matter, because I think every person in the store works towards just helping you find the best fit. I don't think there's ever any forcing. There's no push strategy. It's amazing. It's really great. And I wanted to know that, is there a kind of like a training program that your employees go through? Do you do that with them? Have you put something
Yeah,
like
I
that?
think it's just you throw them on the ground floor, and I mean, we've been lucky because Priyanka, a lot of people tell me that the staff is really good.
They really are.
And they're very good. We have, our CEO who's amazing. He really gets into everything and makes
Yeah.
sure there is a training program that
Okay.
the girls are, the newer people are under the older staff.
Right.
And, I, so far it's worked very well. So
I really do
haven't really
feel that
thought
very,
about it.
because very
And,
few stores bring
yeah.
a certain culture of people within that store. I don't know if I'm trying to, trying to make the point
Yeah.
right, but like I feel like in my years of living in New York, I've felt it where people have run businesses, family businesses, like a family. So they make you feel like a family, and then they've become bigger, but they've tried to hold on to that because that is what people come for. So like even today, if I go to Ogan, I don't feel the pressure to buy or the pressure to do anything except just take a great quick look, and there's always going to be someone who will help me through and give me clear and very correct opinions. There's no like, you know what I mean? That I feel like there's no like, oh my God, this is looking so great on you. And I know it's not looking good on me. Like it's one of those experiences that kind of make a store. So I think that's really good. And I wanted to know, how does one get hired by Ogan? Again, like we know how now, what kind of prerequisite you look in designers. But what about employees? Like how do you employ at Ogan? If somebody wants to work at Ogan, what are some of the core values they must bring to the table?
Well, hardworking. They have to have a certain sense of style, you know,
Okay.
to be able to help. They have to have a certain amount of qualifications.
Okay.
I think it all, we go through a process of interviews and
Right.
then training them on the job. Some people work out, some people don't.
Right.
But again, that is something that I'm not really into right now. I
Right.
mean, I did it initially, but
Yes.
so I,
Because you did it
Yeah.
initially, that's why I'm like interested in knowing what you feel, because you did
Yeah.
the main hiring right back then, and I
Yeah.
feel like I
But
read
things have
this.
moved on, now we have 23 stores.
That's true.
And it's all very professionally done. And there is, of course, you have to very, but a lot of people, Priyanka, tell me that,
Yes.
the people at Ogan are really nice. I see them, they work so hard.
They do.
I'm so, they're
Yes.
tirelessly,
And also, I think through COVID,
it's like
the
one big
roles
family.
changed.
Yeah.
But through COVID, the roles really changed because
Yeah.
then suddenly home shopping became
Exactly.
an option.
That's a very big thing. That
It
is
is.
a big change that has happened. Now people, I see all the girls, when they're never free. Even, because now whatever free time they have, they are taking pictures, they're
Right.
sending the pictures to their clients, and that has really helped in increasing the
That
sales.
has changed so much, right? Because I remember
Big
back in
time,
the
my
day, a
God.
lot of stores didn't allow you to take pictures because they
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
please,
yeah,
please
yeah.
please don't. And now it's like it's getting home delivered. There's WhatsApp calling,
Exactly.
video
Yeah,
calling.
it's
So
amazing. So during COVID, I think that was
that
a big
changed.
change that happened.
Right.
And it's continuing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, lovely. Kavita, I want to ask you from the standpoint of Ogan as a business, how do you balance emerging talent with the already performing talent at the store?